Having the ability to compel others using magic has always been very, very appealing to me. In fact, you know what? Let's give it a try. Oh, yes! Look at this! Wizard's cloak, big wizardly beard, and a magical staff. I am ready to ensorcel. Let us go and test my abilities. Bibbledy-bee! Make me a sandwich!
What?
I said a bibbledy-bee! Poof! Make me a sandwich!
No.
Oh. Oh, what the hell? What the hell's the point of being a wizard if I can't even ensorcel my own woman? This is so pointless. Forget it. Let's just go back to normality. What is this? Oh. Greetings, hatchlings! We are here today to talk about a brand new spoiler from Ravnica Allegiance. We are going to be talking about mind-controlling magic. Either magic that controls the mind, dominates the will, however you want to look at it. There are different variations on a similar concept, but we're going to have a particular narrow focus with this, all right, leading up to the spoiler cards. So what we're going to talk about specifically are sorcery or instant cards that let you permanently gain control of a creature but don't stick around. What I mean by that is originally how it used to work with control effects is you would end up stealing creatures using either an enchantment or a creature, something that could be dealt with. And once you dealt with the thing that was stealing your creature, you would regain control of your creature. But what we're going to talk about are specifically cards that take the creature and then go away, and there's no reversing the process. Before we do that, I just want to touch on the very, very, very first card that you could ever use to take control of your opponent's creatures, because first of all, it gives you an idea of what we're talking about without going into the actual narrow focus. And secondly, it's amazing to see how much it's changed over time. We have different snapshots from different times in Magic's history to show you the evolution of this. So what I'm talking about is a card called Control Magic that came out originally in Alpha, the very first printing of the game, because controlling your opponent's creatures with mind domination magic seems pretty obvious from the get-go. So what you get is you get a 2 blue, 2 colorless enchantment, and what it says, original wording, and get ready, this massive paragraph: you control target creature until enchantment is discarded or game ends. You can't tap target creature this turn, but if it was already tapped, it stays tapped until you can untap it. If destroyed, target creature is put in its owner's graveyard. So that was the first original alpha iteration of the card. Now, in 4th edition, so basically the first printing came out in 93. In 4th edition in 1995, the wording was updated to be far clearer and less clunky. Exact same card, but now it just says gain control of target creature. Then in 99, they updated it again to say you control enchanted creature, and this is the version from Battle Royale we're looking at. And to see the final version of what control magic looks like under current rulings and current wording, you would look at the control magic from Masters Edition 4 online, and that says enchant creature, you control enchanted creature, because now it's an aura. So you'll notice in the type line it goes enchantment aura instead of just being an enchant creature as it used to be. So those are some minor tweaks, but you can see how over the years it's changed and become less clunky. At the beginning, they had such an insane, gigantic word salad because they needed to cover all these things, because people would think, we played for ante back then, we played for keeps. People would think if you control magic, you'd get to keep your opponent's creature forever. So they definitely needed those clarifications. Now, when you look at the artwork of it, it's definitely some really funky artwork. The guy looks kind of insane, honestly. I was like, he's like, ah, and he's got these like little markings on it. He's got the 3 dots on his head, and he's got kind of like this Japanese rising sun kind of thing behind him with what it's supposed to look like arcane language, but it really just looks like, it looks like a Japanese banner stretched across there. And he's got all kinds of arcane instruments out. He's sitting there in a kneeling position. I think it's supposed to be like maybe like a monk focusing his mental powers or something. I was never 100% sure what was going on in the artwork. I didn't know if what he was controlling was supposed to be inside that cloud already, or that was the control magic like being sent out to gain control of the creature. The artwork was never 100% clear to me, but I really enjoyed all the mystic frappery they had kicking around. The skulls, the gigantic bottle, who knows what's in there, a chest, a crystal ball, he's got the candle, he's got the scrolls laid out. Like there's this, maybe this is all used in a huge ritual, maybe this is all additional stuff, but either way, this is how we started with controlling things. And how it worked was if you got rid of the control magic, you got your creature back. And for the longest time in Magic's history, that's how it worked. For the first 7 years of Magic, if you stole somebody's creature, they always had a way to get it back. Now that changed in the year 2000 with the advent of Dominate. And I remember how much this blew my mind. 2 blue and a colorless plus X. Gain control of target creature with converted mana cost X or less. And in brackets it says, this spell's effect doesn't end at end of turn. Because before, instant blue creature steal that would let you take something would just give it back at the end of turn. There was nothing that would give you permanent control like this. So this blew my mind. And the fact that it was instant speed, like first of all, just it being a sorcery would have made me go, because I love controlling other people's creatures. It's a huge deal for me. I love going, oh, is that your plan to victory? Yeah, it's mine now. Thanks. So that's always been a big deal for me. But Dominate especially blew my mind because of its instantaneous permanent nature. The flavor text says, I've come to reclaim what's mine, and you, Greven, are mine. And that's Volrath. And if you don't know what's going on in the artwork, Volrath actually implanted he grafted a new spine into Greven. Greven actually has a spine implanted into him by Volrath. And here Volrath is using magic on that spine that is in his back, claiming Greven as his own possession. The entire thing is, like, the artwork is intense, man. Volrath looks just very powerful and commanding, and he's got a really alien look to him. Volrath is a very alien looking individual, and he's got his fist raised, and he's got the blue energy coming off of it. The same blue energy is being reflected in terms of you seeing it arcing all along Greven's spine, and you can see him leaned over like he's trying his hardest to like resist what's going on, but the magic is going to override his will. It is an absolute win. I really enjoy this card, and this was the very first time that we had permanent creature stealing that didn't rely on enchantments or creatures or anything of that nature. It was just a straight up cast a spell and it's done. There's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely love it. Now, since we're going to be talking about all the effects of this specific nature, I'm going to throw in Mouth to Mouth from Unhinged because I do like to include these as well, just because it's a lot of fun, honestly. So, this one's a sorcery that costs 4, 1 blue, 3 colorless. You and target opponent have a breath holding contest. This is from one of the joke sets, the unsets, if you don't know. If you win, you gain control of target creature that player controls. Interesting tidbit. Surveys show that the card Ow has one of the most popular pieces of flavor text in the Unglued expansion. Now, I love the artwork because it shows 2 wizards underwater having a breath holding competition, and you have a merfolk who's actually keeping track of time on his watch down there. I love it. The merfolk are like watching this breath holding competition. Overall, the flavor behind this card is a lot of fun, and it does tie into what we're talking about. But let's move on to the actual genuine, what most people consider the genuine Magic cards. Next up, we have from Dissension, Govern the Guildless. Now, this is 1 blue, 5 colorless, and it's a sorcery, gain control of target mono-colored creature, and it's got Forecast, which is an ability that you play when you have the card in your hand. So you pay a blue and a colorless, you reveal Govern the Guildless from your hand, target creature becomes the color or colors of your choice until end of turn. So it's interesting. It's something that if you want to, you can reveal to your opponent and let them know it's coming if you want to muddle around with colors earlier in the game, or you can pay 2 extra and basically turn this into an 8 casting cost spell, reveal it during your upkeep, and you'll even be able to gain control of what's normally a non-monocolored creature. Like if they had a creature that's 2 colors, during your upkeep, you can change it to 1 color and then steal it when you cast it at sorcery speed. So it's an interesting card, although admittedly, the Forecast ability kind of conflicts with the name, because if you could change somebody who's part of the Rakdos into a monocolored creature and take control of him, but it's not like they've left the Rakdos Guild. So the forecast ability actually conflicts to a degree with the flavor of it. Now, when we look at the artwork, you can actually see, before we talk about the artwork, in the text box, you can see the Azorius symbol. This is an Azorius aligned card. And what's going on in the artwork is these are actually Azorius spirits that are taking control of this guy. And I like the way the artwork's done because of his like hunched over stance and the way that he's stepping forward. It does feel like that aspect of mindless control. It doesn't look like he is fully under his own control. He's got the blanked out eyes, so he's just kind of like in a trance. The way that he's standing with his arms down at his side, it contrasts very much with his very epic. He looks like an epic warrior, just full of energy, right? Like he's ready to go to war. But the way that they show him makes him show like kind of hunched over, not in control of himself. I really, really like the artwork for what it transmits about the concept. It really gives you the idea of being under the sway of these ghosts. And it's pretty crazy to think this warrior must be pretty powerful because it requires 4 of these Azorius spirits to maintain control over him. Moving on to the next card, we've got Exert Influence from Battle for Zendikar. This one, to me, is the weakest of the batch. I'm pretty unimpressed with this card for what it is. 1 blue and 4 color sorcery. It's got Converge, which is just another weird concept of domain, in all honesty. It feels like they've used the same keyword. It's different keywords for the exact same ability multiple times, but what it is gain control of target creature if its power is less than or equal to the number of colors of mana spent to cast Exert Influence. So the biggest creature that you could take with this would be a 5 power creature, and you have to spend all 5 colors of mana to make that happen. It's pretty rough, in all honesty. It's not that great. The flavor text says, I can't control its mind. I'm not even sure it has one, but I can dominate its will. And what it's showing here is this is a mage exerting her influence over an Eldrazi. And that's why she's not sure if it has a mind, because the Eldrazi exist outside of time and the regular dimensions of reality. So she's not even sure if it's just an aspect of an Eldrazi, even has its own individual brain. But the artwork for this is absolutely stunning. That's one of the things I don't like about the card as well, is it feels like such a waste of glorious artwork. You have this absolutely beautiful mage, honestly. She is just such a lovely, lovely looking thing. And I like that they gave her a bit of ferocity by giving her these armored spiked plates. You know, it takes away some of the softness of her, and it makes her feel a little more wild and rugged, which I enjoy. She's absolutely beautiful. She's standing in this pose where she's arcing magic out and using it to dominate the will of this little Eldrazi that's splayed out there. I love her outfit too. Her little half dress skirt that she's wearing there looks absolutely fantastic. The whole fishnet side of it as well, it gives it that kind of ties in the Mariner concept. I like the whorl thing on her belt. I like the scale plating that's coming out from beneath her breastplate. The artwork's fantastic. The background is kind of gray and darkish. We're dealing with Zendikar, where the Eldrazi were coming to destroy everything. And so it's a last hope. We've got to stop these Eldrazi. I really, really, really like the artwork for this card. And that's part of what makes it hurt so much, that it's on such a janky card. It's so garbage. Honestly, Exert Influence should have been an uncommon. At rare, it's not good enough. It genuinely is not powerful enough. But what are you going to do? The Eldrazi... Oh, I'm dying. The Eldrazi's coming for me. It's coming for me, son, but you're not going to get me. All right, so the Eldrazi is just this crazy little chittering beast. It's got crazy little pinchers and claws. It's got all these tentacles going on. Oh, it's nuttiness time. Now, gotta pause for a drink. Apparently, my earlier attempts at magic dehydrated me, and the Eldrazi decided to launch an attack on my throat. But I'm back, and better than ever. Ooh, launching an attack on the throat might mean something else. Anyways, let us move on to the next card. Let us welcome the next card. Welcome to the Fold is the name of it. It's from Shadows over Innistrad. Now, this one is a funky one. It's 2 blue and 2 colorless, and the normal ability is gain control of target creature if its toughness is 2 or less. If Welcome to the Fold's madness cost was paid, however, instead you gain control of that creature if its toughness is X or less. And how madness works is, if you discard the card, that's when you get to play it for its madness ability. So the madness ability is 2 blue and X. So there's 2 ways to play it. I don't know why I did that. Bloop. 2 ways to play it. You either pay 4 mana and you snag a creature that has power 2 or less, which feels kind of weak, truthfully, or You discard it from your hand, you pay 2 blue and X, and then you can get a creature of whatever, X power. And I like the fact that if you did it exactly at 2, it's the exact same casting cost as normal. So 2 blue and 2 colorless for X equals 4 and a creature power 2, so it works on the normal level. Or you can scale it up and make it bigger. I like that. Madness and like people losing their minds was definitely an effect of Innistrad and people going crazy and things. The artwork for this is pretty intense. You see somebody being welcomed into the fold. Now, what is the fold here? Some sort of evil, dark cult. You can see all the robed figures in the back. You can see the robes being placed over her. I'll let you know firsthand, having a robe apparently doesn't give you magical powers. But the creepy part is look at the face. Look at the face of the person under the cowl directly behind her. It's got these weird flaps coming down. It's really off-putting. They've got gray skin and weird flaps coming down. Are they servants of the Eldrazi? Have they been corrupted by Eldrazi? Because we're dealing with Eldrazi influence again on Innistrad. This time Emrakul exerting her influence over the world. Now, also, take a look at the hands. Not the one hand, but the other hand there that's actually reaching around, because you can see there's absolutely something wrong with this part right here, the wrist and whatever. There's this weird inhuman nature to it. So she is being welcomed into an inhuman cult, most likely, that is worshiping the Eldrazi. Because that's what happens. Some people turn to worshiping the Eldrazi because the angels and other creatures of Innistrad were no longer protecting them. And in absence of what you normally fuels your faith, people found other things to give their faith to have faith in. I really like the concept behind this card. It's interesting that it's got a lot of red in it, and it gives it kind of a sinister, angry kind of feel, like a dark sort of evil cult. I'm totally behind this. I 100% like this one right here. Next up, we've got Confiscation COO. This is 2 blue and 3 colorless. This is a sorcery. Choose target artifact or creature. You gain 4 energy. Then you may pay an amount of energy equal to that permanent's converted mana cost. If you do, gain control of it. Now, I like the fact that this uses energy. You can build up energy previously using other cards and expend it with this Confiscation COO to grab something really powerful. The flavor text says, citizens, do not resist. This is for your safety. Tezzeret bids you to surrender your inventions. Now. So this is a robot, an automaton, a magical construct that has been sent out by the consulate under Tezzeret's bidding. This is actually a story highlight card. That's why you see the Planeswalker symbol in the back. And actually, if you look really closely down at the bottom of the card, it says Story Spotlight 5 out of 5. This is the culmination of Tezzeret's plan. Tezzeret basically planned to take all the inventions from Kaladesh, from the Inventor's Fair, and use them for his own nefarious purpose. There's a whole thing where he links himself into a planar bridge and everything gets insane, but we're not going to delve into that too much here, because obviously we're here to focus on controlling magics. That's the sort of thing we're talking about. Now, I really like the flavor of this card, honestly. I think it does a very good job of tying in what's going in the story. I really like the colorfulness of the fair behind. You've got a whole, this card is a riot of color, and I genuinely enjoy it. I'm a guy who likes big, bright colors, flashy things like that. So you've got all the banners in the back showing that it's a fair. You've got that inventor sitting there. You've got basically two people trying to protect the same invention. You've got this woman who's reaching out for her invention to protect it. You've got the guy, well, maybe it might be her invention. This is the way I look at it is the woman with the headpiece here is the actual inventor of it, and she's reaching out for her invention. This guy is basically taking it from her, actually. Originally, when I looked at the artwork smaller, I thought that this was the soldier. I honestly thought that it was the automaton stopping both of these people. But truthfully, upon further inspection, what it actually looks to me like is you have a consulate soldier and a consulate automaton sent out, and they're tied together by the fact that they're both actually wearing the same colors, right? You've got that deep red outfit that he's wearing. You've got the sash across the automaton. That automaton is under the control of this guy. He is there on Tezzeret's orders, confiscating the inventions. So the inventor is reaching out going, no, give me that. What are you doing? And he's looking at her like, no, this is ours now. While the automaton has grabbed her arm saying, this is for your own safety. Relinquish the invention. I definitely enjoy it. Now, what's a little weird to me is in the background. If you look on the far right of the artwork, you have people, onlookers, but they look like they're enjoying what's going on, which wouldn't make sense if this is what's going on. It's like, whoa, and so for me, that's kind of wonky, but the artwork's fantastic. The invention that he's holding there, what is that? I don't know, but it looks really cool. I like the fact that the invention is like all artifacts, it seems like on Kaladesh, have the same kind of influence, which makes sense, right? On a particular plane of existence, a lot of people are going to feed off of each other. So it's got this stylized sort of filigree. If you look at the headpiece that she has on and the neck designs on her neck garment as well, they do have that same kind of sinuous feel to it, along with that crazy artifact that's being held there. I like the glass and gold design of it. I really don't know what it's supposed to be, but there's so much detail here. There's so much to enjoy and look at, even down to just the blade that's located on this soldier's side and the like, I assume like a coin purse or something like that, that is kind of moved up in this. You can see he's like twisting his body away from her. It's got this kind of movement to it. I really like it. And the automaton looks shiny and new, and it's got the same kind of designs all over it as well. Absolutely fantastic piece of artwork here. Beautiful. Next up, we've got Kefnet's Last Word. This one's sad. This card actually makes me sad. You got 2 blue, 2 colorless. It's a sorcery. Gain control of target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. So these represent the Hail Mary play. They did one of these for each color when they did Hour of Devastation. And what makes me sad about it is the combination of the artwork combined with the flavor text. It's really the flavor text. In his final moments, Kefnet reached into the minds of those around him, desperate for logic within the consuming chaos. It's so sad because this is right before Kefnet gets wiped out. Kefnet is one of the gods of Amonkhet, and Nicol Bolas actually subverted the entire pantheon and turned them to his own vile purposes. The gods didn't even know that they had had their minds wiped and they had been repurposed to serve Bolas. So at the end, when Bolas actually shows up and the world is disintegrating around him, everything is falling apart. Kefnet, the god of wisdom, the guy who knows what's up, the man, he's the answer to riddles. Finally, he's the one who's bewildered. He doesn't know what's going on. And he's just reaching out into people's minds, just trying to figure out what is going on. Everything's falling apart. Like, he was normally the reserved, like, I am the god of knowledge and information, and you will come to me, kind of aloof. And now he's out there reaching out, boom. And I know that this is just moments before he ends up getting wiped out. And that's pretty sad. Now, the artwork depicts Kefnet with his crazy little thin neck and bird head, which always made me laugh, standing there with his Biden in a pretty confident pose, actually. It doesn't actually look like he's still able to manage that aloof kind of pose. I am still the serene god of knowledge, but he's reaching out that swirl of controlling magic, just grasping for anything to hold on to. Something. He's looking for a piece of wood to cling to in the swirling, insane waters that are washing away his reality. Absolutely an amazing card. A very sad story behind it. It gets to me. Then we're going to move on to Entrancing Melody. 2 blue and X. This one's from Ixalan. It's a sorcery. Gain control of target creature with converted mana cost X. Flavor text says, the stronger the will, the more bewitching the song. This one's pretty cool, pretty straightforward. I definitely dig this. The artwork really tells you what's going on. What we have here is we have a male siren, which is funky because sirens are normally depicted as female. I enjoyed the fact that they twisted this around. You have a male siren calling out to what I assume is a female merfolk. I could be wrong. Could be male as well. But he's sitting there on this outcropping. There's actually a rainbow out behind him. He's sitting there above a waterfall, just looking as relaxed as can be. How could you not be attracted to somebody this he looks amazing. He looks dapper. He's well dressed. He's just sitting there, no cares in the world, relaxing above a waterfall. How could that not call out to a merfolk? And I enjoy the contrast of his muted colors versus the colorful nature of this merfolk. I love the merfolk from Ixalan and the fact that they look like insane tropical fish. So good. I love the green jade armor that she's wearing. I love the fact that her weapons are discarded. You can see she is totally, like she was standing over on the other shore there. on the other side of the waterfall, and she's entranced by him, just absolutely entranced. And you can see this, she's dropped one of her blades where she was standing, and another one's dropped into the water to be whisked away over the water's edge. The idea behind this is fantastic. It really does. It's like sirens sing of your doom, and they lure you to them. And that's what's going on here. He's luring her. He's entranced her with his melody. Absolute home run. I really, really like the artwork on this. It's absolutely beautiful. And that leads us, my friends, to today's spoiler. Mass manipulation. This is 4 blue. You don't see a lot of spells with 4 blue in it. 4 blue and double X. Woo! That's expensive. What do you get for that? Well, you gain control of X target creatures and or planeswalkers. Man, how cool is that? And the flavor text says, those who cross the Dimir find enemies everywhere they turn. So this is pretty cool. This represents the Dimir using a massively powerful spell to reach out and take over the minds of a bunch of people. Part of the issue for me with the artwork, in all honesty, is you can see the magic reaching out and glowing out of people's eyes. It does a great job to make the artwork more menacing, but it contrasts with the Dimir's nature because the Dimir are very sneaky, right? And so as a result of that, to me, it has a bit of a flavor fail in that regard. I like the fact that the artwork is very blue and black. You've got the black and blue combo to represent Dimir. You've got the shadowy city in the background. You've got like the blue essence that's all throughout the crowd. It's just kind of like this blue fog almost rolled in. And at the same time, energy, blue magic is arcing down, taking over people's minds. And they all turn as one. All the people controlled. There's just a crowd of people. And all of a sudden, a number of them turn and just look at you. That moment, oh man. And the magic is powerful enough to enslave planeswalkers as well. And this isn't until end of turn. This is permanent. They're all being brought under the Dimir's sway. That is really, really intense. This artwork, aside from the fact that it feels not very Dimir, I love it, honestly. I almost feel like they shouldn't have tied it to the Dimir. I think they should have just made it unaligned, and then that one issue I have with the artwork wouldn't really exist. But overall, the artwork's an absolute home run. I love this card. I'm going to put it in my King Cube. It seems like a lot of fun. In fact, it seems like so much fun. It's why I decided to base an entire spoiler video around it. I really enjoy spells that let you permanently take control of your opponent's stuff, and they have no recourse. Once I've got it, it's mine. Your only option is to destroy it. You've got to get rid of it now. Those who want